Again?
I'll start. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is Kurt with Lebanese America, and we're continuing our series on the Colorful Place video, where we are going around and talking to people who are from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, and they make up this beautiful place we call America. So do me a favor, if you're liking the content out here, subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out. And like and comment on this video and the other videos. That's just the way the YouTube algorithm knows that people like us, and it shares us out. So it helps us get the message out about what we're trying to do to promote nonprofits and other people who are doing things in America that are really making a difference. So you really help our mission. So all right, now on to the subject at hand here. So I have Mike Elias with me here, and he's actually my father-in-law. And I've known him for quite some time, but he is a Lebanese American, and his family is from Lebanon, and he's got a lot of relatives here as well that are from Lebanon. So I've been married to my wife for quite some time now, and so we've spent a lot of time with these folks, and it's been pretty fun to get to know them, get to know their culture and what makes them unique and special, and all that kind of stuff. So we just wanted to ask him a few questions today. And get some answers so that we can just kind of keep this thing going, where this idea that America is the melting pot and that there's all these people that make us up, and the other idea is that we have these freedoms and these things that we get to do in this country that do make us free and make us the place that we are. So with that being said, so Michael, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know are you 92 now? 93. 92. So he doesn't look 92, right? So, so tell us about your family here. When did they actually come to America?
My father came to America in 1912.
1912, my goodness.
That's a long time ago. And my mother was actually born in St. Louis, Missouri, but my grandfather and grandmother took her back to Lebanon in a little village called Abrin. Lebanon is a beautiful country, a lot of things to do, very creative, just good people. And you'll find Muslims that live there, but you'll also find Christians that live there. We love life. You've heard about the Mediterranean diet. Well, I like to say that we started it, which we did, and we eat healthy. We also, on occasionally, drink healthy too. So it's great people, very hospitable, and many good things to do over there. Lebanon, Beirut, Lebanon is like the
crown jewel of that area. Right?
Crown jewel, but I'm trying to think of the place out in Nevada.
Oh, the Vegas.
Thank you. My mind's a blank right now. Vegas, and so great things. We're positive people. We think, in most cases, we have a good positive attitude towards life, and so I'm happy to be living in America. To me, this is the greatest country in the world because of the freedom that we have that other countries and their citizens don't have what we have here. So Kurt has done a great job promoting his music. He's qualified to do that because he's been in music all his life, and of course his father has been in music all his life. So a lot of knowledge there, and a lot of good things will be happening, I know, for Kurt and the program that he's trying to give you out there while you're looking at this film.
Awesome. Well, let me ask you. So that's a beautiful thing. So, one of the things. So when you're eating Mediterranean food in America, that's one of the things that they brought to us when they came over here. I think some of the other unique things about the Mediterranean culture that I really enjoy is the tightness of the families. That's a big thing. Very, very important to them. I think that as I've gotten to know them. If you've ever seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding before, the culture is very similar to that. And a lot of fun, a lot of laughing, a lot of goofiness, but a lot of help. Everybody wants to help each other. Everybody wants to stick together. And so we're up in Cleveland, Ohio here. And so would you say there's a large population of Lebanese people here in Cleveland? Is this one of the largest places where there are people from Lebanon?
We're scattered all over the world. We have them in LA, California, Cleveland, Ohio, Buffalo, New York. There's a lot of Lebanese that live in this country, and we also have them, down in South America. So a lot of countries that we live in, and it's just great to be part of that situation where you love the country, love the people, and we're not a fighting people. We love people. So it's all good, all positive, all good.
So I think that's one of the things that makes America beautiful is you have all these people that are moving here from these different places, and they bring with them a history from where they are, and they've got a whole kind of track record when they show up here in America, and then they just jump into the American experience, and then what they are and who they are spills over, and then we gain some great things from it and get some beautiful things, because the song Colorful Place, the chorus is in this colorful place with all this beauty on display, and that's what we're talking about. It's all these cultures that come here and all the things that they bring. Now, Mike, you're a veteran as well, right? You served over in just after World War II, right? You were in
Korea. I actually put 4 years in the Air Force, and it was back in the 50s, and that was when we were fighting the North Koreans. And so nobody really won that war. That's why the country is split. The southern part is democratic, and of course the North Koreans are the communists. But one day maybe they'll all get together and make it into one big country that it used to be. So
you also served in Europe too, correct?
I served in Europe, and I was stationed in Paris, France.
Was that during the Marshall Plan when they were rebuilding?
The Marshall Plan, and that's when the Soviet Union controlled half of Europe. So
you saw that whole thing go down where basically communism came in and took over half of Germany.
Yes.
And we had to fly stuff in, food in, so people weren't starving, right? And you were there when all that was happening, right?
There, yes.
So it's that's the one thing about totalitarianism is that you have a few people that make all decisions and nobody else can make decisions, and everybody has to fall in line, and if you don't fall in line, well, you get smacked, and you get smacked hard, and that's not the type of government we have here, nor do we want to embrace here or allow it to happen here. It doesn't matter what side of the political aisle you're on. People need to be free, and they need to be able to say what's on their mind. They need to be able to debate. They need to be able to offend each other, be offended, and that's okay, because that's how you get, to where you want to go, is open dialogue and being tough enough to hear the other side and not let it throw you off. But maybe hear some of the good things they have to say, but you don't have to agree with everything. But then they need to hear what you have to say. And that way, we kind of can come together and get things from each other that actually make the whole better. But you don't want to get to a point to where it's like only one side can talk, only one side gets their way. That's when you get a mess. And so that's really what he was doing over there was kind of trying to put back Europe after Hitler came along and had that attitude and that mindset to take everything over, and that's not something that we want to have here. You know, we don't want to have a situation where there's one ethnicity dominating another. You know, we have that. You know, I've talked about this many times in my life and in some of these videos. Is too is that, you know, when we're in the womb, nobody has an order form, and nobody fills out what ethnicity they're going to be, or where they're going to be born, or whose family they're going to be a part of. We just all show up, and you know, God has given us all value, and He says that we're all valuable. So that way, we can, if we have that mindset, we can treat each other with dignity and respect. But you know, so you growing up as a young man, right? Okay, I've heard your story a little bit.
Yes.
You basically had your father pass away when you were 6, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
And so you had, how many brothers and sisters did you have?
I have 1 brother and 3 sisters.
3 sisters. So, and there was a community of Lebanese people around at that time, right?
Yes, there were.
So there was a lot of people that ended up helping you, but as a young man, you basically had to go to work at age 6. How's that sound, guys? That was back in the day. What was that, 1940s?
1940s. I was actually 8 years old, and I actually delivered papers to their homes to get paid so we could buy food to eat.
Didn't you sell ice cream and stuff like that in the parking?
And I also worked for an ice cream place called Checker Ice Cream, where we sold ice cream to, especially in the summertime, where we go to the ballpark and sell ice cream there along where people would attend the circuses and things like that.
Yeah. So you can see, you know, many people from all backgrounds, ethnicities have these similar stories where they basically lose a father or something along those lines, and then they, you know, have to kind of pick up their, you know, kind of the pieces and work together as a family to make things work. And especially back in that day, there were a lot of different laws, there was a lot of different things going on, there wasn't so many safety nets and things like that. Although the safety nets we have today aren't all that helpful sometimes. You have to jump through a lot of hoops. But, you know, the communities came together, they, you know, was able to get jobs and things like that with people that knew their situation to help them out, to make it work. And you know, I think in America, one of the beautiful things that we could continue to do and get better to do is to learn how to, you know, do those kind of things when people are hurting and people are down and they need help. You know, we step up to help them. And part of what we're doing in this Lebanese America is going across the country, meeting people all over the country who, you know, are doing just that, you know, trying to help people, whether dealing with addiction or dealing with some type of issue with, you know, losing a family member, having economic problems, whether it's homelessness, whether it's mental health, whether it's, you know, just a bunch of things that are plaguing America. And, you know, there's people that start organizations all over America because they go, wow, this happened to me, I lived through it, now I want to help others kind of not have to go through what I went through, so let me start an organization to go out and help a bunch of people. And so, you know, that's a lot of what we're going to be doing, is interviewing those people all over the country just to find out what makes them tick, find out what their struggles are, how people can give to them, how they can go out and help them. So we're definitely going to be doing that. But as you know, we're talking about a Lebanese person in America. That's really the title of this film here. How would you say your experience with America as a Lebanese person and the culture of Lebanese? You know, you'd said earlier you love this country. You said, man, I think it's the best country on the planet. What makes you say that? What made your parents move here? How did you guys end up in America? Maybe give me a quick answer on that.
Yeah, well, again, my dad came over from Lebanon on a ship in 1912, I think it was, and he served actually in the army in World War I. And
is that how he got here? Was to come and serve?
No,
okay.
They drafted him to serve.
Okay.
So he came here in this country, and one thing about this country is you have a lot of freedom and a lot of movement to make yourself better, where you can make money if you work hard with it, and it's just the freedom to be in the USA is unbelievable. I mean, when God gave you birth, and whether male or female, He gave freedom to us. And there's so many countries out there, they treat their citizens not very good. And we help other countries out, feeding them, doing things for them to survive. And we're one of the few countries that you can find in this world that does all those good things to mankind and womankind.
So when your dad came over here, what made him come here? Was he coming here to get a job? Was he coming here because he had other family here? What brought him here in the first place?
Well, part of it was Lebanon was being controlled by the Turkish people.
Okay.
And so he left there to come here and just to have freedom and be able to work to make money to feed his family.
I see.
So
I've heard those stories, and I've heard other people that were Armenians that fled down to Lebanon there, and it got so bad, the oppression there, that they were boiling grass, right? They were doing different things like that just to eat, right? And that oppression was just horrible. And I think that period of time for that area was very bad because obviously the Turkish Empire at that time was very oppressive and was heavy-handed, and if you weren't falling in line or doing what they wanted you to do, they really made your life miserable. And so basically your family came here, your ancestors came here to flee from that, to find an opportunity where they could have a place that if you did apply yourself, you might start with nothing, right? But if you apply yourself, you can get somewhere. And that certainly was your experience. Now, you were a business owner, correct?
I was.
And you had safety company that you did. How many years did you own that company?
Probably about 30 years.
About 30 years, okay. And then you retired, 20 some years ago, maybe? 20 years ago?
Yeah, year 2000,
okay.
2000, yes.
Okay, so being 92, you'd have been 70 at that time.
Yep.
But, I could say firsthand that Michael here lived a good life, did a good job with his company. Obviously, was able to raise a couple of daughters and a son, and, did a good job with that. And, it was all because he worked hard, and I know for a fact, I heard the stories from you, how much work you had to put in to make that business successful. But the cool thing was you lived in an environment that you believed, if I put the hard work in, I can be successful. If you live in a country that you don't feel it's worth doing that, a communist country or some other type of company where your effort is not rewarded, you're not going to believe that I'm going to get there, so you're never going to start. So one of the things we have to do is just continue to keep a place where everybody can just say, okay, I know I'm going to be able to work hard, and I know that if I do the work, there's a reward opportunity there. And in this country, we have so many people that started out with nothing.
They're millionaires.
Yeah, they're millionaires. We got basketball players like LeBron James that started out with nothing. I think he just went over the $1 billion mark.
He's worth about $2 billion right now.
But he started out with nothing. He knew that if I can just continue to work hard at this basketball game, I'm going to get there. And that's what he believed. He believed he lived in a place that he could get there.
Yes.
And so he may not like everything about it, or may have felt like I was living in a rough place, but there was something in him, something he saw that he said, man, I can do this. And he went and did it.
He did it.
Yeah, he went and did it. So I think, as I've gotten to know you these years, and as I've hung out with your family, we've eaten all this great food, and we've even done some funny things like belly dancing stuff, watching some videos and things. So there's a culture over there, which is so foreign to me, but just fun from the standpoint of getting to know this culture and the things that they do and what makes them unique. It's been a pleasure to know you. It's been a pleasure to get to know your story and how that, basically your father was digging ditches when he came over here and unfortunately had a heart attack. You guys didn't have hardly much, and all the kids had to pitch in and work.
That's what happened in our 30s.
Yep. And so from that, all the way to being a business owner, to being successful, to raising your children, being able to retire, to sell off your business, that is the American dream. And as a Lebanese person, bringing your culture here to America, adding that to the melting pot, the beauty of this place, not losing your culture, but blending into our culture as well, but bringing your culture with you. So It's been a pleasure to get to know you. I've enjoyed that. And with that, I think I'm just going to sign off here. Again, folks, we're just trying to really go out and interview people from different backgrounds who've been in this colorful place and hear their stories of how they have enjoyed living here and the hard work that they put into to make it here, but their respect for this place because of the opportunity that it can afford you. Is it perfect? No, no place is perfect. But hey, at least you can say what you want, at least you can work hard,
Right.
and at least you can have freedom of religion to practice the religion you want and live the way that you want and make something of yourself. So with that being said, we're signing off here. This again is Kurt with Love America. So please subscribe to the channel if you're liking what this is, and also like the video. It really helps us out. Have an awesome rest of the day. Thanks.
Very good. Did a good job, Kurt.